Hi everybody, Alan Hall here with Ride with the Realtor. I think that's like the third one today, Dustin. So
You're
it's
pumping
still,
them out.
still pumping them out.
You guys will see this in 2 weeks.
Yes, that's right. So it won't be the 13th of April when this comes out, but that's what they were making them. I can't even talk right now. Let's see, where are we going? 15th Street, aren't we? Hey, so I've got Dustin Davidson in here with me, and you guys have met him before. And on the way over to this house, we're going to go we're going to do a little bit of talk about Clear Co-op, which the public probably has no idea what that is. So let's fill them in a little bit about what it is and how it works. And so this is not just a state thing, this is a National Association of Realtors thing.
Yes. So last year, National Association of Realtors, or NAR, came out with an updated Clear Co-op, or clear cooperation between brokers within an MLS. I think it was official in April.
Yeah.
So it's right around 12 months. Essentially what it is whenever you, as a real estate professional, market a property, you have to have that property accessible within your MLS within 24 hours time frame. So you have to agree to cooperate with these other brokerages. I don't know if I forgot something. Missed something.
Well, how about why? Why are we doing that?
Well, the big thing is big to do with coming soons and trying to draw attention to a piece of property, to market a piece of property, and then not cooperating with other agents or other agencies to help sell that property. And so the big reasoning behind it is limiting the exposure of your property in the best interests for your sellers.
Right.
And so, we belong to a board of realtors, and that board of realtors has an MLS, and we share information amongst each other. And so a part of that is ensuring that we can continue to do so, and that when you as a seller list your property, you're getting the maximum exposure through your MLS. And B, on the flip side of it, when you have a buyer, having the opportunity to actually get the information, get into and view the property, to submit an offer on it.
Which is part of for the seller's benefit.
Yeah.
Is that if you didn't do or work with Clear Cooperation, then your agent could say, well, I've got a buyer for it.
True.
And you could say, oh, that's fantastic, and you could put it under contract that day.
True.
But that may not be the best buyer for your property. You may have, like, especially today, where there's so many offers going on one piece of property,
right,
that your multiple offers situation may take it above asking, or at least to asking. The numbers could change a lot, and you could end up, if you just took the first person that came in and sold it before it actually hit the market, then to say somebody in your own agency, or our own agency for that matter,
yep,
then is that in the best interest of the seller? And I think that's what part of the whole purpose of Clear Co-op is it makes sense, especially like I said today, where you're going to get multiple offers on a decent house. You're going to get multiple offers. Yep. That's better than taking your first one, because your first one may just be, well, I'll give you whatever, $70,000 for your $75,000 house. And if you waited a week or even 3 days, you may get $80,000 bid or $75,000 offer on your house.
Or 70 all cash.
Could be all cash. That's another big deal. I mean, you're talking about loans versus just a cash buyer. So there's a lot of benefits to the seller to let their home hit the market,
yep,
rather than selling it right away to the first person that comes along. And the Clear Co-op keeps us agents working together like our MLS is intended.
Right.
So
I think it comes down to, too, like with a seller. So if you approach someone and you have a buyer for that property, and you ask the seller prior to them wanting to sell, we have things in place like authorizations to show that allow for something like that to take place. Where if you're working with a home seller and they've raised their hand and said, hey, I want to sell my home, and these are the terms and conditions in which I want to do it in most cases, not all, right? There still are some instances where it's not in the seller's best interest to openly market that property.
Yeah.
But those would, I think, be very, very few.
Right.
And so, yeah, Clear Co-op. And an interesting thing too on Clear Co-op, on an internal side, so like agent to agent, there's a lot of questions of breaking Clear Co-op, or are we breaking Clear Co-op? And so like within our agency, you were kind of talking about this.
Yeah, a little earlier than that.
If we have a home seller, we can sell that home within our brokerage and not put it out on the MLS and stay within our Clear Co-op guidelines. The biggest question is asked though is that what is best for the seller? And it could be one of those where someone says, hey, I have a buyer for this, and you say, I know someone who has that house, and help make the connection and run that way.
Right.
But it really is based off the situation, and like you said, I would say in most, if not all, but most cases, it's best to put it out there to allow everyone to view the property, and to allow all the agents to see it, all the buyers to see it, and then you can negotiate the best deal possible for your sellers, term and condition.
Yeah, I agree. I always thought it was a good idea to get the most exposure possible,
Yep.
and the most buyers through a piece of property for the seller. I always think that's the best way to do it.
Yep.
If you got, there's, like you said, the rare instance, maybe, I don't know, something happened and I got to sell my house today, and I'll take the first one to come home.
Right.
I don't know.
Or I'm a private person and don't want people seeing everything, or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But the moment that you market that property,
Yeah.
so the moment you actively market that property, you've got 24 hours as a real estate agent to have that in the MLS and available to the rest of the agents within that board of realtors or within that MLS to be within Clear Co-op guideline.
Right. And then, so one of the things we see as agents from time to time is there'll be a sign out in the yard, and then we get calls from people, from the public, saying, hey, I want to see this house, and it's not in the MLS, the multiple list service. So then we run into Clear Co-op problems if it's, especially like if you put it on a Friday and then the listing doesn't go until Monday. That's a super big violation by days of the Clear Co-op that NAR put out. So, and I guess as a seller side, if they're watching this, then you need to kind of keep an eye on that too. If you want your agent to list that home for the weekend, and they go stick a sign in the yard, they need to make sure they get that listed, get that put in right away, because we don't want, the last thing we want is agents, violating NAR rules and stuff like that. So,
And mistakes happen, right?
Yeah.
But it's the people who are doing it intentionally that try to quote unquote double-side a deal, or keep it in house, or
keep
something
it in the
there.
office. Yeah, that you hear stuff about things like that happening where the office wants to keep both sides of what we call both sides of the transaction. But again, if you are only getting agents from out of one office, I guess, looking at the home, then you might want to hold off until you actually sorry, that's the wrong address. That's 509. We're going to 6. You may actually want to hold off a little bit and let the other agencies get some buyers to come through there and see how those work out as far as offers go. Because you never know what people are going to offer in these days. And it seems like they're going quite a bit over asking, especially if they're a good house that's been updated and stuff like that. So anyway, I feel like we've been talking about Clear Co-op a little bit here now, so I think we're good.
Yeah, if you have questions, reach out. We'll pull out the guideline and go over it in more detail.
Give me your phone number, Dustin.
Office line 417-726-5001. My cell phone 417-680-4550.
All right, give us a call anytime. Be happy to help. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks for watching this installment of Ride with a Realtor.